You feel as if your love life is cursed. In her new book, local author Jess explains the habits that you can do right now to better your love life in 2020, especially those habits in today's digital age that she says are sabotaging relationships. And it's very fitting, Jess, because that movie came out 10 years ago, which is the last time that we sat down and talked on your other book, You Lost Him at Hello. How are you?
I'm so great. Thanks for having me back.
You're in the love business.
I'm
trying to help.
Am.
You know? I love it.
I certainly am.
People, we were talking off camera a little bit, people don't want to hear that it could be something they are doing. You know that, right?
I do, and that's the reason that the book is called Cursed. It sounds a little, doom and gloom, but people kept contacting me saying, help me, Jess. I feel like my love life is cursed. The same thing keeps happening to me over and over again, whether it's I can't get past a third date, or my relationships stop right at 6 months, or every person comes on strong and then disappears. Why does this keep happening? And what I found was that we have certain habits that create these patterns. And they're not habits like, texting and driving. They're habits that are, thought habits. They're in your mind. And yeah, a lot of us that have had cell phones or social media and have been sort of glued to that for the last 5 to 10 years, develop certain thought habits, and we're not even aware of them.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to get into that, but I want to go through some of the things that we're really doing wrong. We're self-sabotaging because, number one, we're always in wanting mode. What does that mean?
Yeah, and, we live in a culture of instant gratification where we're always wanting something and it's so easy to get it.
Okay.
And then that creates a pattern of what else do I want? What else is on my wish list? And what happens is when you translate that into dating, you can keep your mind in wanting. You might want someone, and then the minute you get them, you kind of get bored. And then you start thinking, well, who else do I want? Do I even want this person anymore now that I have them?
Right.
And so you can sabotage yourself because you mistake that you're uninterested in them for wanting something else because you've just gotten into a pattern.
Does that lead into your judging someone? You say we're doing that as well.
Yeah, judging is also a big habit that I'm seeing now. And our culture really beckons us to judge because, everywhere you look, it's like rate something or review something or like something.
Okay.
And then you don't realize that you go offline and maybe you go on a date, but that judgment in your head keeps going. So you might sit down with someone and instead of being open with them and learning about them, you start judging. I don't know if I like what he's wearing. I don't know if I like what she's saying.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that, sometimes people say they're just picky, and that really just means it's a socially acceptable way to say I'm judgmental.
Right.
And they don't realize it.
Right.
But you can judge yourself right out of a relationship because when you judge someone, it really alienates them. It doesn't feel good to be judged, whether it's on a small scale or a larger scale.
Which also leads into your next thing you say we're doing wrong, which is that future thinking. Like we're overthinking.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And we have a culture right now where everyone's very anxious. And what I've noticed is that people are very habituated to always thinking about the future. And specifically, what if this happens or what if that happens? There are what if scenarios in the future. And that really can sabotage your relationship as well because you might like someone and have a really good connection with them, but then when you're not with them, you might start thinking about all these what if scenarios. What if he gets back on Tinder and meets someone else? What if he doesn't call me again? And then you act from that what if scenario as opposed to acting from the reality, the present moment.
Right.
And so you do something to kind of calm that fear in you, like, let me reach out to him and ask him how he's feeling. And then they text too soon. But it's all based on this what if scenario going around in their head that's motivating that. And then they end up sabotaging the relationship from it.
Is that because we are seeking attention?
Well, that's another habit that happens because, we're on social media so much and people become habituated to getting attention so easily and getting approval so easily. And then when you're in a relationship, that doesn't stop. So you're interacting with someone and it's, well, how do I get attention from you, my partner? I can't post a photo right in front of you, so maybe I'll get mad at you about something. Because that'll give me attention. Or maybe I'll accuse you of being jealous. Of flirting with someone because that will, create some sort of drama between us. And I'll get attention that way. So you don't notice that your culture, your social media culture and the social media habits translate into your relationship and you try to get attention that way.
All this and much more in Jess's new book, It's Cursed, available everywhere, I presume?
Yeah, mostly on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly
Look,
on
that's
Amazon.
where we all go anyway.
Yeah,
in the social media age, so
exactly.
don't wait. Thank you so much for joining us. There's the website, jessmccann.com, and then on Instagram, I am Jess McCann. Happy Galentine's Day.
Oh, thank you. You too,
Yes,
Allison.
okay. Tucker, upstairs to you.
Allison, I'm right.